Dear students, welcome to the first session of our mathematics subject. In this video, we are going to discuss the fundamental concepts of Chapter 1, Relations and Functions. At the end of this video, you will be able to explain the purpose of a graph. You might have drawn the graphs for any given function in your lower classes as shown. The purpose of constructing a graph is to capture the pattern of change in output for any given input. For example, this graph of active corona infection in the country helps us in understanding the trend of infection in the country. The corona first wave infection rate increased gradually from March 2020 and reached its peak in the mid of September 2020. Later, the infection rate started declining. However, the country saw an increasing trend again from March 2021, and it is continuing to increase. By understanding this increasing trend, the government is taking measures to reduce the infection rate by enforcing lockdown at many places in our country. In this case, the data points that the number of active COVID patients is directly measured from the COVID test results and plotted as a graph between date on x-axis and number of active COVID patients on the y-axis. Similarly, a graph can be plotted between the input and output of a function. For example, the area of a rectangle is given by length into breadth. This formula can be called a function if you declare the area as an output y and any one parameter length or breadth as an input variable x. In this case, I am declaring the length as constant, which is 5 centimeters. So, area of rectangle is equal to length into breadth. Can be written as y is equal to 5x. Since x is the variable here, meaning we can substitute a range of values into x and determine the corresponding area of the rectangle. This table shows the area of the rectangle for its corresponding values of x. Now we can plot the graph between the input variable x and the output variable y. Using this graph, we can easily predict the area of the rectangle for any value of x in the range without any calculation. Such graphs are used in many applications like monitoring CO2 emissions, GDP growth of a country, the performance of a two-wheeler engine, and many more. To summarize, graphs help us to visualize the change in output of a function. This helps us to monitor or predict the changing pattern of a problem under study. Thanks for learning.